大家好，我们继续讲圣经啊。那么我们现在讲这个18啊。I wait for your salvation, O Lord. God shall be raided by raiders, but he shall raid at their heels. 好，那么我们看这好像是这个一段啊，诗的一段啊。那么18和19啊，那么 I wait for your salvation, O Lord， 这个我们不用解释了啊，就是拯救啊，等待上帝的拯救啊。God shall be raided by raiders。啊，不，sorry，不是 God，God，sorry，这个 God 是什么意思啊？这个字典里面也没有的啊 ，God，我们要查一查 God，G-A-D，God，a chisel，a pointed iron or steel bar for loosening or rock。A long stick interjecting used as a matter of oath， 它是那个发誓啊 ，God。Some whichever and traditional in terms of ancestors of one of the child。盖是一个，也是他的一个儿子啊。哈哈 ，My goodness！盖在这里啊。盖a son of Jacob and the traditional eponymous 这个ancestor of one of the tribes of Israel。God 也是一个儿子啊，sorry，不好意思，My goodness，God shall be raided by raiders， but he shall raid at their heels。那么我们19看一下，19，Raiders shall raid God, but he shall raid at their heels。那么 God will be attacked by a band of raiders, but he will attack them at their heels。然后是这个 God will be attacked by marauding bands, but he will attack them when they retreat。那么这个 heels 就是 when they retreat。明白，就是 but he will， 他是撤退的时候啊，但是他们脚后跟啊，那么就是撤退的时候啊。But he shall raise at their heels， 就是他会受到袭击的受到别人袭击，但是呢，他呢会追赶，他呢会他们撤退了，他会追着他们后面啊，这脚后跟追着他们打，那么就他赢了。这个我们应该是解释。那么我们看Asher's 按照肯定是另外一个儿子。Asher's food shall be rich, and he shall provide royal delicacies。那么这个20啊，我们看看这个有一个注解 A 啊，这个 A 是什么 ？Hebrew from Asher 啊。那么这个意思啊，就是 Asher 啊，这是 Asher's food shall be rich, and he shall provide royal delicacies。那么等于说啊，这个 Asher 啊，好像是一个很好的那个他的那个很好的厨师一样的啊，应该这么理解啊。他的 food 啊 will be rich， 他有很多的食物啊。然后呢，他呢去贡品的供那个皇宫的，皇宫里面给别人进贡那个 provide 那个 royal delicacies 啊。那么好，我们看一下这个20，这个20啊 ，Asher's food shall be rich， and he shall yield royal delicacies。这里用 provide 用 yield 这个也是很模糊的。And he will provide delicacies fit for a king 啊。那么 as for Asher, his food shall be rich, and he will yield royal delicacies。那么我们看看这个 ，Asher will dine on rich foods and produce food fit for kings。produce food， 他说 produce food and he shall provide royal produce food fit for kings。那么这个含糊，他是不是要有贡品啊？这个看上去他 provide 向谁 provide 了？我们看一下，那有点含糊啊。Jacob's prophetic description of each of the tribes that were descended from 12 sons, now with Asher The oracle about Asher is one of the simplest and possibly the most peaceful of all Jacob's predictions. Asher was named for Leah's response at his birth to her servant Zilpah. Happy am I, for women have called me happy. 然后后面Asher's people seem destined for a happy future, settled within a fertile strip of land. The tribe of Asher will become known for rich foods. Their main interaction with other tribes may have been providing delicacy to the people of the land around providing delicacy to the people of the land around Israel 啊，那他就是应该是这个意思。And he will provide a royal delicacy. 那么我们这个注解是这么注解的 ：The main interaction with other tribes may have been providing delicacies to the people of the land around Israel 啊。那么他说是像那些提供那些好吃的东西给那些别的部落啊。那么但是呢，我这里呢我的理解这个因为他这里有一个 royal provide royal delicacy 那么这个 royal 它是皇家的那么就是他为那些部落的那些首领其他部落的首领提供这些国王这提供这些 delicacy 不一定只给那些老百姓是不是那么这是我的理解那么我们看下去。好，那么我们先来看一下这个我们这里的注解18、19我们看一下49的18、19、13到27、16，那么后面要22的18、19没有这里我们没有注解。那么20我们也没有，应该说我们这里也没有注解20也没有，要到22了这个注解要到22了。好，那么我们看21是 Naphtali is a doe let loose that bears lovely fawns 那么这里呢那个 fawns 有一个 b 或者是 that gives beautiful words fawns words fawn 应该拍马屁应该这个意思那么我们看看 Naphtali is a doe 是什么？A female deer female deer 一个小鹿母鹿a female 是的母鹿is a doe let loose let loose 就是很放松的很放松也不是放松 let loose 就是自由自在的有这个意思在里面，自由自在的 is a doe let loose let loose that bears lovely 那么它带着什么 lovely fawns 这个 fawn它这里fawn 应该是那个拍马屁还是什么？我们看一下sorry fawn 呢fawn a young deer one with a resilient distant baby coat one still on and retain a distinct baby coat那个 and bears lovely fawns那种他那个鹿等于说还小还有那种还没有褪毛褪毛这个凤是一种 one still wearing 这个小鹿这个小鹿然后呢它这个 grayish brown kid sorry 稍等一下那么应该是它有什么颜色应该是什么颜色的意思fawn 那么复数有没有fawn 这个那么就是 fawn sorry 不好意思 Natalia is don't let loose 啊。That bears lovely forms 啊。那么我们看我们的那个主角，网上的主角，这个东西有那么一点21。Natalia is don't let loose 啊。That bears beautiful forms 啊。那个 beautiful forms， 他说是 beautiful forms，beautiful forms。那这是 let loose 啊。That bears that utters beautiful words 啊。它这个 form 是 words 同学们这个有一点问题了啊。为什么叫 words 啊？好像这个 form 没有这个 words 的意思的。它那里是都 set free 啊，看到没有 ？Let loose is 就是 set free 啊。That bears beautiful forms 那么它有没有翻这里啊？那么我们呢就是这个呢，我们知道了，就是Natalia is a dog ，let loose 知道了。对不对 ？Let loose 就是 set free， 自由自在的。那它 bears beautiful forms， 那么它也没有就是还是根据我们一样的然后呢，它是 given goodly words 那么这个 form 没有这个 word 的这个意思的我们查一下 form f， 我们的原文是 fawn， 对不对 ？fawn， 我们看看fawn。A young deer， 它这里就是一个 form 动词、名词，sorry。A young deer, a grayish brown， 一种颜色，一种鹿animal a young deer 这个好，那么我们要看这个This is another verse which scholars struggle to accurately translate 这同学们，这个翻译有困难麻烦了，有困难。Jacob is poetically describing the future tribes descending from his 12 sons. The first part of the sentence seems straightforward. Naphtali is compared to a female deer which has been set free 那么自由的这个 first part is 然后是 the second part of the verse is a bit less clear. The words H-A-N-O-T-E-N 这个是希伯来语seem mostly literally to mean gives beautiful forms give beautiful forms. However, similar Hebrew words mean things like he said or refer to speech. This is why some translations render this to mean the Italian tribe will produce beautiful words 这就说这个 form means give the word seems most literally to mean， 实际上面他说字面上面来说那个 form 好像就是那个就是 give beautiful forms 就是说它字面上就是 give beautiful forms 然后呢，那么什么叫 give beautiful forms 那么就是它有那个颜色美丽的颜色的应该是这么个意思那么好然后呢 ，There's no question that Naphtali's descendants would settle in mountainous terrain, which in that region was associated with the deer and similar animals. Deborah, a judge over Israel, described Naphtali on the heights of the field. Naphtali settled northwest of the Sea of Galilee. A reputation for being free-spirited and mountain-dwelling would fit this prophecy well 就是他们就是那个他们就是那个自由自在的在那个地方那么关于这个bears beautiful forms 到底怎么回事大家去猜同学们。 学者也搞不定啊。有的呢说呢，你可以翻成这个 utter beautiful words 啊，he utters beautiful words 啊，他们就是有可能呢，他们或者部落啊，今后啊，可能会使那个以色列的那个语言啊，希伯来语啊，比如说或者什么啊，比较变得更好啊，变得更美啊，这个也有这个意思。那么还有一个是就是 bear beautiful forms，那么这个 form 的意思是一种颜色啊，bear beautiful forms 就是。那么就是生啊，生那个啊，那么同学们，那么这里这里呢就是说什么？这里呢，它bear beautiful 嘛，这生小鹿啊，生了很漂亮的小鹿啊，对不对啊？那应该是 a young deer 啊，那明白哦 ，less than 1 year old 啊，那么就是它，那么好了。sorry，那个 Naphtali is a doe let loose that bears lovely forms，forms 就小的啊，小鹿啊，它就是一个这个斗也是斗是母鹿，然后呢，它生那个很漂亮的小鹿啊，这个是一个意思。另外还有一个意思，它 give beautiful words 啊，这是它生小鹿啊。好，那么我们来看看这个21啊，21也没有注解，我们刚才看过了。然后呢，22呢后面来有了。22呢是讲那个Joseph的，Joseph这一段啊非常的长啊，同学们。Joseph这一段啊，最后一段好像是讲Joseph的啊，这个是很长一段啊。然后是 Joseph is a fruitful bow 啊 ，Joseph is a fruitful bow 啊，a man branch of fruitful。Joseph is a fruitful bow by a spring 啊，his branches run over the wall 啊。好，那么我们看看啊，这23 meaning of Hebrew uncertain 啊，这是希伯来什么意思？不明白，不知道，不清楚。那么那么这个。那么这个 his branches run over the walls， 那么我们一句句来看啊，现在要一句句来看啊。is fruitful 的bow 啊，那么我们先看一下 bow， 先查一下 bow， 先查一下 bow 啊 ，bough。bow 啊，不念 bow 啊 ，bow 啊 ，a branch of a tree 啊 ，bow 啊 ，bough bow 啊，就数字啊。那么就是为了有 fruitful bow 啊 ，a fruitful bow 啊 ，by a spring 啊，在一个泉水旁边的一个数字啊，很多产的一个数字啊。His branches 啊 ，his run over the walls 啊。好，那么我们看看这个22。fruit by a spring, his run over the walls. His fruit, his branches run over the walls 啊。那么我们看看啊。His branches run over the walls， 他也没有翻，为什么说我 run over the walls？ 什么wall？ climb over the wall。好，那么我们看看这个 ，Joseph is the foal of Joseph is the foal of a wild donkey. The foal of a wild donkey at a spring 啊 ，one of the wild donkeys on the ridge 啊，什么意思啊？不对劲啊！啊，这个相差大了，翻译啊。Joseph is a fruitful bow 啊，那么他说 Joseph is the foal of a wild donkey 啊 ，foal 啊 is the foal 啊，什么叫 foal 啊 ？foal 是后代还是怎么样？小的那个啊，我们这好像前面 foal 啊 ，a young animal of the horse family 啊 ，foal 是小驴啊，那这个相差反而太远了。这个相差太远了，有的是翻译成这个 fruitful vine 呢 ，fruitful 宝啊， 有的是翻译成是什么 wild donkey 啊 ，fall in the spring one of the wild on the ridge 啊。那么还有一个他说啊 ，one of the wild donkeys on the ridge 啊，这个想上远了啊，its branches climb over the wall 啊，那么这里啊，its branches climb 好像就是这个 NLT 啊，这个他搞错了还是什么呀？这个雅雅画画来，这个完全不一样的啊。那么我们看这个注解，就是不 Jacob reclines on the bed in which he will soon die. He has called his 12 sons deliver about the future of each. Having completed his profession about his 10 older sons, Jacob now comes to his beloved Joseph. Jacob has saved the longest and the most complex blessing for the firstborn of his beloved wife Rachel. 那么he begins by describing Joseph as a fruitful bough or vine. In the case of the bough or vine, Jacob describes Joseph as being fruitful and fertile, as a well-watered tree planted by a spring, with the branches extending even over walls. In other words, Joseph's line would multiply and thrive. This fits with what already occurred. Jacob made Joseph into 2 tribes by adopting his 2 eldest sons, Ephraim this means Jacob made Joseph into 2 tribes by adopting his 2 oldest sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, making a unique tribe of each 啊。那么好，这个呢就是最后。Some scholars note that the Hebrew terms for sons and plants are relatively distinct. They also point out that most metaphors in Jacob's prophecy involve animals. This leads towards a different metaphor, though with similar implications. 啊，那最后一段就是啊，他说。最后一段呢，就解释了我们那个 NLT 的版本为什么它是那个动物啊，就是说Hebrew terms for sons and plants are relatively distinct。那就是说关于这个人啊和植物的那个相对来说啊，they also point out， 他们也同时啊，那些学者也指出啊。Point out that most metaphors in Jacob's prophecy involve animal 啊，大家都说的语言都包括那个动物的。This leads toward a different metaphor。那么这样的话呢，就导致了一个不同的一个比喻啊 ，with a similar implication， 意思一样的，但是比喻不一样。那么这个就是这句啊，等于说这个希伯来原文呢比较含糊的，那么大部分的版本呢都把这个呢指向于那个树枝。等于说那个葡萄藤啊来比喻的，那么也有的呢，这里就翻译啊，就是它比喻成那个驴了，动物了啊。Our white donkey has spent one of the white donkeys on the ridge 啊。那么这个就这样。那么呢，我们觉得就是说大部分版本啊，都把它翻译成是一个树枝啊，葡萄藤枝啊那个繁茂的那个葡萄藤枝啊，这里啊，那么大家就明白啊。好，那么是22，对不对？那么我们22看那个我们这个上面的注解，22到26。The lengthy blessing on Joseph and its triumphant conclusion suggests that he may have been the original focus of the early blessing 啊。那么这个我们不解释，大家知道一下。他就是 a focus of the early blessing 啊，就是说。这里也比较长啊，就是说就是实际上这个整个这一段围绕的中心啊，就是对他的这个 blessing 啊。好，那么这个我们明白的啊。好，那么22，那么23 ，the archers fiercely attacked him. They shot at him and pressed him hard. Yet his bow remained taut. And his arms were made agile by the hands of the mighty one of Jacob, by the name of the shepherd. by the name of the shepherd, the rock of Israel, by the God of your father, who will help you。那么同学们，我们这个诗啊，还是一句一句来，这个比较不是一段一段来，一句一句。好，那么我们看23啊，23 The archers fiercely attacked me, they shot at him and pressed him hard 啊。那 archers 就是弓箭手啊。那么这个弓箭手是不是 archer？ 应该是 archer， 念是不是念 archer？A-R-C-H， 呀
Archer.
Archer 啊 ，Archers 这个 Archers 啊，这个Archers fiercely attacked 吧。那么这个23应该比较方便的。哎呀，23 The archers attacked him savagely. They shot at him and harassed him 啊。那么好 ，The archers fiercely attacked him. They shot at him and 这句不用解释了，就是好。那么我们看看我们这里的注解。23没有啊，23没有的，要到25才有啊。那么好，我们回过头去看24啊，24跟25呢，我们一起看呀，因为它里面有半句的啊。Yet his bow remained taut, and his arms， 这个 arms 我们看一下一个 ，and the arms of his hands， the arms of his hands Hebrew 啊，那么这个 arms 就武器了，他手里面的武器啊 ，and his arms were made agile 啊，那么他的这个 arms 到底是手臂还是武器啊？我们等一会儿是吧？ Made agile by the hands of, and his arms were made agile by the hands of the mighty one of Jacob, by the name of the shepherds, the rock of Israel 啊。那么好，我们还是看一句一句的啊。24啊。Yet his bow remained unmoved. His arms were made agile by the hands of his arms from the shepherd, the stone of. 那 his arms were made agile. 那么这里呢，这个 arms 啊，是他的手臂啊，made agile by the hands of the mighty God. 这个是这么翻的啊。那么我们看看这个。But his bow remained steady. His strong arms stayed limber because of the hand of the mighty one of Jacob. Because of the shepherd, the rock of Israel. 好，那么 by the name by the name of the shepherds, the rock of Israel. 啊，那么 by the name 啊，那么就是 Jacob， 这个后面这个也是指 Jacob 啊。好，那么 but his bow and his arms were agile from the hands of the the shepherd, the stone 啊，那么 and his strong arms were made by the hands of. But his bow remained taut, and his arms were strengthened by the hands of the mighty, by the shepherds, by the rock of Israel 啊 by the shepherds, by the shepherd 啊 ，shepherd 就是应该是不是指 Jacob 啊？我们呢，那么我们看一下这个啊。Jacob's desperate oracle about his beloved Joseph is more involved than his words about troubles arising from the other. He has described Joseph's future offspring as prosperous. Here, he completes a thought begun in the previous verse. Though Joseph has been bitterly attacked in his life, and his descendants will be attacked in the future, Joseph would not be defeated. More specifically, God would protect and deliver Joseph's people. 看到没有？ 好，那么下面 the metaphor used in both verses evokes a shootout between archers 啊，那么就是这个场景啊，这个诗歌的场景啊，就是一个大家的弓箭手在对射啊。Jacob describes a severe and bitter attack of arrows shot at Joseph instead of being hit or running and hiding. Jacob describes Joseph's bow as remaining steady and strong. He returns fire with skill. The agility ascribed to Joseph's arms, however, does not come from his own strength. 看到没有啊？这不是来自于他自己力量。Jacob's oracle reads that Joseph's arms are empowered by the hands of God. In other words, Joseph's strength come from the Lord 从上帝来的那个手明白吗？好，那么 this reference to kill in battle is proven by Joseph's future descendants, famous warriors of the Old Testament, including Joshua, blah blah blah, are members of the tribes of blah blah blah. These tribes come from the sons of Joseph, adopted by Jacob as his own 那么我们再看后面In a quick succession, this passage uses several names for God. 你看到没有？他用着称呼上帝他用了不同的名字。This God who gives Joseph strength is called the Mighty One of Jacob, a name demonstrating Jacob understood his own strength to come from the Lord as well. Next, Jacob calls God the Shepherd, as he did in Genesis, blah, blah. The God who has been my shepherd all my life long. Then Jacob says, this shepherd. Then Jacob says, this shepherd is the stone of Israel. Then Jacob says, this shepherd, the stone of Israel, perhaps referring to God as Israel's unmovable rock as a foundation, the stone of Israel. Or perhaps Jacob was thinking of the God to whom he set up a large stone as pillars in worship 那么同学们，这个里面比较难懂就是说。我们看了这个注解就明白了，这意思呢有那么一点含糊，但是呢基本上呢还是那个清楚的。那么我们回过头去，对不对 ？Yet his bow remained taut， 他的那个弓保持了那个taut， 就 steady 然后呢 his arm 他的手臂，这里的 arm 是手臂我没大脚，这手臂灵活有什么？上帝之手 ，by the hands of the mighty one of Jacob。这个 mighty one of Jacob 指的是上帝好，那么然后后面 by the name of by the hands by the name of the shepherd， 这个呢也是指上帝 shepherd 那么后面这个是同位语，他把这个 shepherd 这个牧羊人称为是 the rock of Israel 这个上帝这牧羊人那么这里面有很多层意思在里面这个 rock 就所谓的那个 rock 这个是基石，以色列的基石上帝是以色列的基石等于说这个，而且呢是牧羊人是以色列的基石。那么这个呢是两个有双关，有很多层意思首先，以色列人他们一开始的时候都是牧羊人出身，对不对？那么上帝呢也是牧羊人明白吗？这个里面就是他们是重合的，明白吗？所以呢，这个呢，那么关于这个 rock 呢，有的你可以认为它是一个基石，或者说它有一个可以以色列人可以依靠的有可以依靠的，也就基石rock 那么就是有基石这个 rock 就是基石以色列的那个基石那这个大家就明白了，对不对？24好，那么我们看24 ，sorry。我们看24这也没有注解那么这个24，那么我们下面一节课呢要讲那个25了，现在就讲到这，谢谢大家，再见。